With that, I would yield to the gentleman from New York, the ranking member, Mr. Nadler.
Thank the gentleman. I thank the gentleman for yielding, Mr. Chairman. It has long been the Judiciary Committee's practice under both Democratic and Republican chairs for the majority and the minority to work cooperatively on the committee's authorization and oversight plan. We have generally been able to work out a bipartisan agreement that sets forth the committee's priorities in neutral language that both parties can support. Unfortunately, the plan before us breaks with that tradition. Although there is much here that I can support, in fact, the vast majority of it is in line with what the committee has submitted on a bipartisan basis in the past, there are several provisions that seemingly have been cut and pasted from whatever messaging document is making the rounds today in the right-wing echo chamber. We know that this is not a serious document because it lays out its conclusions, many of which have been thoroughly debunked already before the committee actually engages in the oversight it describes. It imagines a vast conspiracy in the upper echelons of government dedicated to censoring and suppressing conservative views. While none of this turns out to be true, it does make for a nice narrative to distract from the Republicans' utter failure to lay out a positive agenda to improve the lives of the American people. What good is an oversight plan if you have already prejudged the results of your investigations before actually hearing from witnesses? Republicans have clearly already made up their minds and do not appear interested in conducting meaningful oversight. I would suggest that we could all save ourselves a lot of time, and the majority could save the $15 million in taxpayers' funds they say they need for their new select subcommittee on insurrection protection if they have already predetermined the outcome. Other than providing talking points for Fox News or Breitbart, several of the provisions contained in this document serve no useful purpose except perhaps for one, providing a window into the priorities of the extreme MAGA Republican majority. For example, in addition to leading the committee to chase various conspiracy theories, the oversight plan describes a thinly veiled effort to enact a nationwide ban on abortion and provides the framework for the majority's assault on regulations that protect the health and safety of Americans. It also traffics in widely debunked racist tropes that depict immigrants as violent and a burden on society, while laying the groundwork for a bill to shut down the asylum and refugee system, legislation that has already been called un-American and too extreme by members of the Republican caucus. Like so much of the Republican agenda, this is a document that is not ready for prime time. I am extremely disappointed that the majority has chosen to take a purely political path rather than reaching out to the minority and working together constructively on an authorization and oversight plan that we could all support. I consider this lack of consultation and cooperation, which has been a hallmark of the new Republican majority so far, to be a wasted opportunity for this committee. In a moment, I will offer a substitute amendment that strips out the extraneous political talking points while preserving the many good and important items in which there is bipartisan agreement. If we adopt my amendment, I feel confident that Democrats will support the plan and our day will be short. I hope that the majority will reconsider its ill-advised approach and will join Democrats in the spirit of bipartisanship with which my amendment will be offered. Otherwise, I urge all members to oppose this plan, and I yield back the balance of my time.